Hi and welcome to the fourth in the series about what it means to be a modern time priestess. So my name is Brigantia and I am a priestess in 2018 and I have been a priestess for over 10 years. I want to talk about this time about what my daily life as a priestess looks like. I talked about who I am, I talked about the trainings, I talked about how to introduce yourself as a priestess to your family and your friends. And this time I go on a question, go in on a question about what does it actually mean? What do you do as a priestess? This is a question that came up after the first video. So, what do I do as a priestess? I think a lot of people when they hear the term priestess, they think about great Greek temples and ancient palaces and big fires and pillars and huge goddess statues. That time sadly has gone. That time has been erased long time ago, quite violently, sadly, when patriarchy came in. But we now do have temples again. So when I talk about my daily life as a priestess, I do have to point out that I am very privileged to live here in Glastonbury and to be a priestess of Avalon, priestess of Bridget, and to have a community here and a place where I can actually express my priestessing. So we have a temple here. We have a temple, not one with huge pillars and big fires, but we do actually have some pretty big goddess statues. It is more like a room, a big room, an inviting place to come when you want to meet a goddess for the first time, when you are visiting here and you want some meditation, some quiet time, you want to meet priestesses, you want to be smudged. All of that can be done here in the temple. So this is part of my life. Part of my life is that I am part of the Glastonbury Goddess Temple. And this temple has been set up over 20 years ago by Kathy Jones and has been a focus point ever since. So people come here, and when I am Melissaing, that is spending time as kind of a host in the temple, people come to me, they talk to me, I explain about goddess, what it is to be a priestess, I smudge them, sometimes I just have a little talk and I hold space. So this is one of the things that I do. I don't do that very often, I do it about probably once a month because I'm quite busy with other things. So what am I busy with? So I'm busy with organizing the Goddess Conference. And this is an annual gathering from people from all over the world. People who are devoted to Goddess, but also who are curious about Goddess. And they come here and we create another temple, a bigger temple, in the town hall in Glastonbury. And we have speakers, we have ceremonies, we have workshops. And all that has to be organized. Again, this is something that I've taken over with Katinka Soetens from Kathy Jones about 2 years ago. And this is now a big part of my work. So as a priestess, I am a full-time priestess. This is my work, this is how I make my living. And organizing the Goddess Conference is a big part of that. Of course, not everybody, well actually hardly anybody is organizing of the Goddess Conference, although we have a lot of people who are involved. And this is one of the things that is great about living here again. Yeah, I did say I'm very privileged. Is that there is work. So in town, priestesses can work for the Goddess Temple, for the Goddess Conference. They can be working in a goddess house, which means that they can be therapists or card readers. Then we have people working in a goddess gift shop. So really we are creating very much a community where where priestesses and goddess-loving people can actually work and earn their living. So one of the other things that priestesses can do is teach. So I'm a teacher. I'm the teacher of the Priestess of Brigantia training. What is a 2-year training? So I have 10 weekends a year in which I teach. So this is another big part of what I'm doing. And so it's not just the weekends. And this is the thing that a lot of people don't see. But for the teaching and for all the work that you do, workshops and all that, there's a lot of preparation goes into it. I read, I meditate, I feel into what needs to be done in that workshop, and then I also do a lot of work on the computer. It is quite a big part of my priestess work, is that I create things on the computer. At the moment I'm writing a book, but also if I am preparing for a training weekend, I do work on the computer. And also, it is modern day life, to put it out, especially on social media, but also creating advertisement, posters and all that. It doesn't sound very romantic, but it is really part of our daily life to promote ourselves as priestesses, to get known in the world. The thing that I'm doing now with the video, to get known in the world and to make known what it is, that Goddess is there, that the priestesses have returned, and that this is what we do in the world. So another big part of my daily life is walking the land. So I walk the land for myself, because I really find I walk land every day. And this is sacred land of Avalon, but also around. I just came back from a beautiful retreat in Dartmoor. It's a beautiful space where you can really feel the land, the ancient land, very unspoiled place. So to walk the land for me is a practice. It is really connecting with her nature, to feel Goddess in the trees, in the wind, in the river, in everywhere I go, and it's really, her presence is very there, and that feeds me. So I do my practices really to be inspired, to feed me, because I'm doing a lot of giving as a priestess, and that is wonderful, and I love doing that. But it's also important to receive. So as a priestess, I'm very aware that there is a continuing from giving and receiving. And then I offer walks and tours with people who come here to Avalon, to come to England. People contact me, email me, go to my website or to the website of Mystical Earth Tours, of which I am a part with other priestesses and my partner Alistair, to walk the land, to let people feel her, to open up space, to create a wonderful environment for people to experience Goddess in the land and Goddess in Avalon, because there's so many ways to connect. We are very lucky here to have places like the Tor, like the White Spring, like the Chalice Well, and even the Abbey has a lot of stories for Goddess. So this is kind of how I fill my weeks, my days, and it's very concentrated. It's very focused here on the land. So when I was in Holland, I had a different experience. I was not so much. I wasn't have my daily life, and I had my weekends in the Goddess Temple in Holland, but that was every 6 weeks. So in between, I had my life, my work, my family, and still I was very much a priestess. So in that time, I did much more focus on my own practices. I do a morning practice with which I invoke Bridget into my life. I connect with her, I walk the land, all that. It is really about an awareness. If you want to connect and feel God is in your life every day, it is about awareness. It is about doing yourself. It is about taking action, to read. It is very much about self-responsibility, to hold that connection, that sacred connection with Goddess. So, as I said, I am very privileged to be here. And if you ever come to Glastonbury, just go to the temple or contact me, and I'm very happy to walk with you on the land or to do a card reading or anything like that. It is really a way of connecting. So that is very much what it's about. I hope this clears a little bit up what it is to be a priestess, and how to bring it in your life. So I thank you for watching again, and I hope you will keep sending me questions, because it's really, for me, it's good to know what you want to know, so I can talk a little bit more about that. So I hope to see you next time. Blessed be.